Ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow! Oh, what have we here? Someone's been looking through the photo album. Okay, well, at least one page of the photo album, at least. Okay, well, oh, okay, yep. Ah, there you are. Okay. Okay, hiding behind some pictures of Basil when he was a younger fellow. Okay, well, let's get you dressed up properly with your Basil tie, your Basil necktie, and now I won't put mine on because then you won't be able to see me. Well, you might be able to see me with you on. Tie. Possible. What? Now you asked me, where did I go? Where did you go? Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. We'll put the Basil tie over there. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to Basil BuddhaCat Presents. And Basil has decided that we did our movie review last year, and this year, with the Oscars just having been conducted out in Los Angeles, that Basil wants to quiz the audience. He wants to quiz you on famous lines from the 9 Academy Award film nominees, the 9 films that were up for Oscars. Okay, I hope you can remember all of them. Used to be only 5, but okay. You want me to do it in cat? Okay. Well, let's do it that way then. Okay. Okay. I want to match this quote with the appropriate movie that it's from. Okay, here we go. Okay, well that was one of them, and it obviously not a very long comment based on the length of the cat translation. But okay, now, hey hon, what were the 9 nominees? You have to come in here. You have to tell me the 9 films that were nominated for Best Picture.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, I can't do that one because we've done that already. We've given a quote from that already. Name me another one.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. Okay. Go ahead.
American Hustle.
American Hustle. We saw that one too. Yeah. 12 Years a Slave.
Well, that one won.
Yeah.
I forgot the other ones.
Well, there's 9 films. Okay, we've already done Philomena. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Her. Yeah. Not Ben-Hur.
No. Just Her.
So we've given away the first one. The first quote was from The Wolf of Wall Street, and Basil said he kind of liked that film a little bit. It would have been nice if the film had been about a guy that was actually referred to during that time as the Wolf of Wall Street, which apparently back then they all called the guy some dude that was one day going to be portrayed by Leonardo DiCaprio. So that was his nickname back then when he was doing his own little American Hustle. But anyway, so on to the second film. Now that we know that first quote was from The Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, quote number 2. Okay, I want you to think about that and think about which of the other 8 films that quote was from. Okay, quote number 3. Okay, now that's maybe a little too much. I might have given it away a little bit. Okay, quote from anonymous Academy Award nominated film number 4. Okay, quote from Academy Award nominated film number 5. Okay, onward. Number 6, Academy Award nominated film number 6. Okay. Quote from Academy Award nominated film number 7. Okay. Well, that's odd, but obviously a quote from the film. Okay. Academy Award film number 8. The quote is, okay. And lastly, but not leastly, certainly, quote from Academy Award winning film number 9. Okay. No, there were only 9 films. Now, you can't make up films. All right. He wants to throw an extra one in there because it's a film that he's seen so many times, in fact, that he learned how to speak this in a totally different language. He's going to use a totally different language than cat to identify a quote from this film. Okay, it's another animal from the animal kingdom, obviously. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Okay. So during Jaws, I mean, when we were watching Jaws, who were you rooting for, the shark or the people? Says he actually was. Well, I better quote him first. He was actually rooting for the dog that went into the water to bravely pick up the stick and bring it back to his owner, not knowing, of course, that he wouldn't come back. The stick would come back, but he wouldn't come back. Okay, yeah. I understand that you can appreciate the dog's effort to actually appear to be brave. Okay, well, at any rate, today's show, Basil wants to do not films, but Basil wants to do another episode of Basil's Book Club, as in Basil BuddhaCat. Basil's Book Club. Okay, so the book that he's chosen out today, that he wants me to read a few passages from, is a book called The Encyclopedia of Bad Taste, authored by Jane and Michael Stern. Okay, and Basil's picked out a few passages. Okay, now, the first one I know is he picked it out because we've been munching on these things lately. We've been eating a lot of these because we in fact got a 6-pound bag of them at Shop Right, I believe, in Danbury on Main Street. Good store, good quality, nice, clean, neat store, good quality food, and some good values on most everything, good prices, but also good quality. And we found that these fish sticks actually were probably, at least Kristen and I found, that these fish sticks were probably the best fish sticks we'd ever tasted. Don't know, it's just a typical combination of varying fish ground up and then coated with a breaded coating. And we've been eating them up. Kristen made a phenomenal tartar sauce type of concoction to go along with some of them when Matt and Emily came over the other day. But just the fish sticks alone by themselves, we found them to be fabulous. Basil, on the other hand, Basil said, nah, he didn't like them. So he wants me to read from fish sticks from the book Encyclopedia of Bad Taste. Okay, fish sticks. If you agree that the sight of a fish on a plate is repulsive, especially if it's still got its head or tail, then you understand the raison d'etre of fish sticks. A stick of fish, as opposed to a whole fish or part of one, eliminates so many of the gruesome problems of eating seafood. Having to look at a dead animal, or, even worse, eviscerate and scale it, then fillet it. Worrying about choking on fish bones, having hands that smell like fish, or, I guess, I've heard from some people that occasionally you end up with fish sticks, you end up with fish that smell like hands. Okay, and disposing of the skeleton in a place where the cat can't find it. Fish sticks also pretty much eliminate the other awful things about fish. The taste. Those pleasant golden-crusted logs with snow-white insides have only the gentlest hint of fish flavor, which is easily disguised by a good dollop of sweet tartar sauce. Despite these many admirable qualities, actually because of them, fish sticks are way down low on the ladder of culinary respectability. Epicures turn up their noses at them because fish sticks deny fundamental gastronomic assumptions with impunity. A fish stick says bacon serve is as good as spending an afternoon making court bouillon for poaching. A fish stick says industrially formed and flaked Alaskan pollock compares to king salmon in its natural form. To those people who actually like eating fish, the closer it is to its swimming, living state, the better it is. Hence, such shocking culinary concepts as sushi, raw fish, rare fish and whole fish that you have to pick off the bones to eat. To the fish frowners of the world, however, fish is tolerable only when someone else has cleaned it, filleted it, cooked it, and covered it with Newburgh sauce, or better yet, frozen it, whitened it, and miter cut it into handy little sticks. In the days before technology made cooking easy, people dealt with the fish problem by making their own fish balls, fish croquets, and fish loaves. This is fine if you had leftover fish, as it did yield a main course that at least looked like a respectable piece of meat. But it didn't address any of the annoyances that make fish preparation so daunting. A solution was yada 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 yada. Easy to make, easy to eat, and utterly innocuous. The above recipe, adapted from Let's Cook Fish, published by the U.S. Department of the Interior, demonstrates just how effortless fish sticks are. Okay. Okay. Want me to go on to another one? Okay. Let's see. Let's stay. Well, actually, let's step outside of the food category. And this is one that Basil is very insistent that I write about because the picture accompanying it is a bobblehead dog. Not doll, but dog. Nodding head dolls. The best place to see a doll with a nodding head is the car dashboard, or the shelf beneath the car's rear window. Touch its loose-jointed cranium, or simply let the bumps in the road work their magic, and watch its tiny noggin merrily bob side to side and up and down. Nodding head dolls, or nodders, as aficionados know them, have been favorite car and desktop accessories since the 50s, but they have an ancestry that goes back to long before they joined fuzzy dice and leopard skin seat covers as fundamental expressions of gaucherie in automotive interior decor. The first nodders were made in China in the mid-1800s. They were little dolls made of high-quality porcelain or bisque, or in some cases, papier-mâché, that had not only moving heads, but moving arms, too, making them appear to wave hello or goodbye. None of the early dolls used metal spring or rubber band to hold their heads to their necks. Rather, they relied on a fragile balancing pin or a connector, which created a gentle rolling effect when the head was tapped. Yada 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 yada. Okay, yada yada yada. Thanks to the Beatles, who were famous for bobbing, and of course you'll recall we had a couple of weeks ago we had a visit via phone from Ringo's mom's cat, who told a very intriguing story about how when the Beatles themselves came to visit Ringo's mom and tell her that they had chosen a name for the band. Now, yes, you're right, Basil. It's important to note that the cat's name, Ringo's mom's cat, was named WTF, which of course has a different meaning nowadays. Or not. Now, Ringo's mom also believed that the reason that her cat was named WTF was that the cat was a reminder to her that her work schedule was Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it was a reliable reminder to her that on those days she needed to go to work. But when the boys came to tell Ringo's mom, who shall go nameless because we can't remember her name, cat important, mom not so important, that they had decided on a name, and told her that the name they had chosen originally for their band, their mop-top band, was the Beagles, WTF, immediately blurted out, WTF! Now, Ringo's mom, his mom thought that was just a reminder that it was time to head off to work. But the boys themselves, the lads, were quite visibly shaken on hearing that that the cat did certainly not approve of them naming themselves the Beagles. Now, they avoided their third choice immediately, but went directly to their second choice of names for the band. And the third choice was actually the Beanies. Reason being that with their hairdos, they looked like they were wearing beanies 24/7. But they went, of course, as history now knows and relates to us, that they went to the nickname, the name of the group, the Beatles. And the rest is history. And Ringo wants to send a very... Basil wants to send a very hearty thank you to Ringo's mom, of course, and also to WTF. A surprise guest via phone? Okay, sure. Okay, well, hold on. Let's put the book down for a second and the bobblehead dog down for a moment. And, that's a good idea. Always good. Okay? And thank you, Bill Murray, for giving us this scientific methodology of reaching out to the hereafter. It depends who we're looking for. Okay. Well, let's see if we're successful. I don't know. Well, it's the lesser phone we're getting paged on, so let's answer and find out. Hello. Did we actually get a hold of and Tweety's checking to see if we get the O's, the zeros and ones are lined up properly for it to be from the hereafter. Could we have gotten WTF? Do we have WTF on the line? Basil? No. It's Rick Santorum. He's asking us, he wants to know what colors should be in his cardigan, in his little sweater, to wear at his inauguration. Well, I think you might want to be dressed up as a little bit more a little fancier than that, former Senator Santorum. You might want to consider that. It says, nope. It's the only part that he needs to worry about at this point because he's certain that he's the lock. He's the lock for Republican Party presidential candidate. He says now that what's his name got caught in traffic on the bridge and can't make it, that he's going to be the one to be the nominee. He's going to be, he says, the Republican candidate for president. And since, of course, that God's on his side, he certainly will win the election. Well, didn't the candidate in 2012, Mitt Romney, feel that he had divine intervention on his side? Okay. Senator Santorum says that he's not sure if those guys actually have a God. He thinks they might have 3 or 4 or 10 or 20. That's really not fair. That's that because I think most everyone would consider Mormons to be a branch of Christianity. Says, yeah, like the Branch Dravidians are a sect of Christianity. Now he's adding that he thinks they are, but the Mormons aren't. But anyway, okay, so well, we really can't. It's a little too early. Everybody else is getting into the discussion about presidential candidates for 2016, but we're not going to go there quite yet, former Senator Santorum. But thanks for calling. Okay, so where were we? Oh, okay, let's try again. We'll do it the old-fashioned way this time. We won't add in the extra BBD bops. Okay. Hello, Basil BuddhaCat presents. It's some guy with a voice that sounds suspiciously like Senator Rick Santorum telling us that it's actually old Nick, Lucifer, or as the Rolling Stones love to tell us, what's my name? Can you tell me what's my name? Along with the woo woo. Oh, okay, just presuming for a moment while Tweety checks out. Tweety says, getting a lot of numbers, but none of them are zeros and none of them are ones. They're all sixes. Okay, presuming you are old Nick, Lucifer, or whatever other multitude of names you go by. So he's telling me that that Mormons are not. I think we have a skip in the disc. Okay, but yeah, Senator Santorum, I don't think we're going to go for that, but nice try. Basil, I don't think we're going to get WTF on the on the phone from the hereafter. So let's just go on and see if we can get through. Thanks to the Beatles, who were famous for bobbing their heads as they sang, group daughters became a hot novelty item in the 60s. Quartets of wiggle-headed John, Paul, George, and Ringos clustered together, shaking their spring-powered heads on dressers in teenage bedrooms and as decorations on Sweet 16 birthday cakes. Like most nodders, Beatles dolls are about 4 inches high and have disproportionately outside heads. Group nodders have since become passé, although nodding Beatles are worth $20 or more to both Beatles collectors and nodding head doll collectors. And this book was written about 30 years ago, so might be 20 or 21 by now. Might be 22. The recent trend is back to single statues with emphasis on cuteness. Trolls, hula girls, and adorable fat-cheeked children patterned after Hummels. Okay, and of course, after the book was written, on to sports figures. Okay, now let's just see how much time we have left. We have a couple minutes left. One more, Basil. One more. Okay. And start with a delectable, mouth-watering explanation of what this is made from. Spam. Spam is ground pork shoulder and ground ham combined with salt, sugar, water, and sodium nitrate. Stuffed into a can, sealed, cooked, dried, dated, and shipped. You can slice it, dice it, fry it, eat it raw, or bake it. Its advantage over ham is that it needs no refrigeration. Well, I imagine there's canned ham, too. Okay, little known fact, and this may still be true. In the USA alone, 3.6 cans are consumed every second, assuming spam is eaten round the clock. 365 days a year. Okay. Nowhere on earth is spam more exalted than in Korea and, amazingly enough, listen to this, Hawaii. Huh. Okay, in Korea they add pickled cabbage, roll it with vinegared rice and seaweed to create elegant spam sushi rolls. I'm going to say I think that might be a bit of an oxymoron. But at any rate, and with that, we're done. This has been Basil BuddhaCat Presents. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter-in-chief gopher. And yes, I will. Good night.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, Meow.